Khan, Shalom Akim. When you give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim who brings truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about Leviathan, which we can read about in Job chapter 41, which, in this day and age, that would most closely resemble Godzilla that we know from the movies or animations. So that's what I want to be talking about. And Leviathan is a creature that the Most has created, that is above all creatures that He created upon the earth. He is the most fierce. He is the strongest. And the Most High is gonna present him, in the latter days. So this is Job chapter 41 and verse 1, and it says, "Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn?" So Job the 41st chapter is going into all these questions that are being asked. Are we able to do these things with Leviathan? Are we able to go out on the sea and fish and fish out Leviathan while on that ship? So if you look to the left on the screen here, this video is not going to be taken down for displaying this video that contains all these scenes from the movie Godzilla from 2014. But if you see the creature that we see in the movie, would you be able to go out on the sea and fish and reel him in? Are you able to? Guess not. This is verse 3. Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? So will Leviathan ask you things in a calm and collective manner? Is he going to talk with you in a normal fashion? Verse 4, will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? So are you able to make a contract with Leviathan? Is he going to do that with you? Are you able to put him under subjection? For instance, display him at a zoo? Are you able to do such thing? Are you able to do those things with the creature that we see on the left? Are you able to do these things? Oh, he's destroying everything that comes in his way. Verse 5, would I play with him as with a bird, or would I bind him for the maidens? So if you have a bird yourself, and I know Akim that have birds, and they're able to put him on their finger, he's gonna walk on their shoulder, sit on their head, and they fly from brother to brother. Are you able to play with Leviathan? Which, like I said, closely resembles the Godzilla that we see in the movies, etc. Are you able to play with him as you play with a bird? Are you able to, put a leash around his neck, and let a young girl play with him as with a little puppy, or with a, with another, a small animal? Verse 6, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? And to get a good understanding of this verse, we need to go to the interlinear, which gives us a little bit more information concerning what certain words mean in the Hebrew. And the word companions goes into the word habar or chabar. And it says associate, partner in trade. So this verse is going into merchants, those that are occupied in buying and selling. The next word that I want to look up is the word banquet, which is the word kara. And it says to get by trade, trade by, bargain over. It also says usually assigned as a primitive root, but probably only a special application through the common idea of planning implied in a bargain to purchase, buy, or prepare. So are the merchants, the shopkeepers, are they able to, buy and sell Leviathan, cut him up in pieces and distribute him upon the earth, make food out of him and things like that? Do you think that they're able to do such a thing? You know, because later on in this chapter, certain features are going to be explained concerning Leviathan. How fierce and how mighty he is, and how the Most High created him. With a special type of of skin. You know, it says for 7, canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spear? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. And if you go to the modern day use of lay thine hand upon him, that goes into find or get something. I read everything I could lay my hands on. So if you're able to, or better said, if you are willing to acquire or have Leviathan in a possession, you're gonna remember the difficulties that you have and are gonna have with that, because Leviathan is gonna put up a fight. If you look up that word battle, it says fight or hostile engagement between opposing forces. The video on the left, which is on replay, it goes into how these armies are fighting against Leviathan, or Godzilla. So they're having a very hard time, trying to defeat it, which they're not able to. So if you're trying to, get a hold on Leviathan, you're gonna have, a great time and great trouble trying to do such thing. It says battle, single combat, also inner turmoil or harsh circumstances, army, body of soldiers. So you're gonna have a hard time trying to do that. And once you have engaged in trying to acquire him, you'll be like, I'm not gonna do that, again. So you're gonna remember that struggle, that fight that you're gonna have with him if you're trying to lay your hands upon him. And then you'd be like, nah, man, ain't gonna do that no more. Verse 9, Job 41, verse 9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Should not one be cast down even the sight of him? So those people that are trying to do such thing, that expectation of doing such thing is worthless, man, because only looking at Leviathan, is already, such a fearful sight that it can put people to death. But just looking at Leviathan. Verse 10, none is so fierce that dare stir him up, who then is able to stand before me. So nobody upon this earth is so mighty, so strong, or so fierce, you know, uh, that is able to, that dare to disturb Leviathan. So if you're not able or courageous enough to just do such a thing, how then do you think that you're able to stand before Yahawashi? How do you think that you're able to stand before the Most High? The Most High created Leviathan. You know, the Most High is stronger, than Leviathan. So if Leviathan is already created to be, such a strong, a mighty, and fierce creature, you know, and if nobody upon this earth is able to face Leviathan, how can you stand before the Most High and face him? You know, verse 11, who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole earth, select under the whole heaven, is mine. And if you look at the word prevented, I'm going to look it up in both the online etymology and the interlinear of the Blue Letter Bible. It says, prevent an act in anticipation of act sooner or more quickly. It says letten also to prevent from pray before venir to come, from a suffix from a Pi root to go come, which means come to come before. So it says, who has come before me, which is the Most High speaking. So who has come before the Most High that he, is going to repay you? It says, this is the word quadam, and it says to meet, come, or be in front, confront, to go before. To meet, confront, come to meet. So who has confronted the Most High or come before the Most High that you can basically um, tell the Most High to basically pay you back for something. The Most High is in control of everything upon this earth, and everything belongs to Him. And He give it to whomsoever He will. Job chapter 41 verse 12. I will not conceal His parts, nor His power, nor His comely proportion. So the most mighty and strong things about Leviathan are not going to be kept hidden. As we're going to read on, we're going to find out what those things are that make him so mighty and so strong. Why he's so fierce and that nobody is able to come up against him. This is Job chapter 41 verse 13. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? And the first thing that I want to go into is the word discover. This is the online etymology dictionary. It says, discover, divulge, reveal, disclose, expose, lay open to view. So we understand that, Leviathan has no clothing on. So what is that talking about? Because a garment is actually a piece of clothing, right? This is talking about his skin, So who can lay open his skin, to see, what's underneath? Who is able to do such thing? Lay open to view. Or who can come to him with his double bridle? And a double bridle is going into a certain mouthpiece that is being used by people that ride horses, to control the horses and steer them in a certain direction. So who is able to do such things? Who can put those things in the mouth of Leviathan, make him be his how you say that, be his master, be the one that's in control of Leviathan? Verse 14. Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. So who's able to open his teeth, open his mouth? And let me see, because Leviathan doesn't have like teeth that we humans have. He has like these beastly teeth, these fierce teeth, like a dinosaur, a T-Rex, you know. You see. Verse 41, Job chapter 41, verse 15. His skills are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. So his skin, is something that is a very prominent feature of him. It's something that's very special about him. As we could already read, who was able to come up, with him. What does it say? Who was able to Verse 7, canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Are you able to do those things? Are you able to, to open up his skin, his skills, his, they say that, yeah, his skin. Let me see. So his skills are his pride. Shut up close together as the close you. If we look at the word pride, it all says something in Middle English, sometimes also positive, proper pride, personal honor, good repute, exalted position, splendor. So it's something very good, concerning um, the traits that he has. You know, it says shut up to get edge with a close you. So the skills that he has. Um, are packed very tightly, packed very tightly together. So as it says, like with a closed seal. Verse 16, one is so near to another that no air can come between them. So the scales of the skin are so compacted together that no air can come in between. Verse 17, they are joined one to another, they stick together that they cannot be sundered. So nothing is able to uh, um, divide those skills one from another. Nobody is able to do that. Verse 18, by his sneezings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. So by him sneezing alone, he's already creating, a fire, a light. Verse 19, out of his mouth go burning lamps and sparks of fire leap out. So he's able to breathe fire. In this video on the left, there was a scene that showed you that he was able to have this blue light coming out of his mouth. Verse 20, out of his nostrils go smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. So out of his nose alone, there's already smoke coming. Verse 21, his breath kindled coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. Like I said, he's able to breathe fire. He's able to, create something with a lot of heat. Verse 22, in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. So his neck is very strong, and wherever he goes, he turns shit upside down. Things are destroyed. People are in terrible fear. You know, but he's the one actually enjoying those things, man. He is having fun doing these things because like it also says in the book of Sirach, there are spirits created for vengeance, man. So the spirit that is being put upon Leviathan when he goes out there doing these things, he's enjoying what he's doing. He's made to do those things. Verse 23, the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm themselves, they cannot be moved. And if you go to those flakes, it actually resembles the skills that I was talking about. But if you look at a crocodile, he has a certain a way that his skin um, is laid up. You know, so as it says in the flakes of his flesh are joined together; they are firm in themselves; they cannot be moved. So he has a crocodile type of skin. Very thick and stiff. It says his heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. If we go to the word hard, it's not talking about the actual heart, it's talking about something else. It says the inner man, mind, will, understanding. So it also says a seed of appetites, a seed of emotions and passions, a seed of courage. So Leviathan, he has been given a certain mental state of being very courageous, and very how do you say that, very confident, in what he's doing. On the left, you see the fire that I was talking about. So he's very stubborn in that as well. He is, as it says, as hard as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nether millstone. And if you look up a nether millstone, it says the lower of the two millstones which remain stationary. So that state of mind that he has concerning that is not going to change, not going to move, and it's not going to be shaken. Nothing is going to change his mind. Nothing is going to change his mental state. Once he's being sent out there by Yahawashi, what he's coming to do is fuck things up, man. He's going to really turn shit upside down, man. It says, and it's exceptionally hard, usually figurative or a figurative context. It says, when he raised it up himself, verse 25, when he raised it up himself, the mighty are afraid by reason of breakings, they purify themselves. So once Leviathan shows up himself, the mighty upon this earth, which goes into the soldiers, the mighty man upon this earth, they're going to be afraid, they're going to shit their pants, when she shows themselves, and it's going to cause all these destructions, and they want to basically um, not fight him, because if you go to that word purify themselves, it's, what is it? Chatha, chatha, and it says to forfeit, which to forfeit means to basically um, cancel the fight and be like, nope, you won, you won. Um, to lose. Forfeit says to lose or give up something on account of an offense, error, or failure to fulfill an agreement. So once Leviathan shows himself, and these mighty men are fighting it, they're gonna have in their mind like, hey, we're able to take him down. We're able to stand a chance against him. We've got all this weaponry, we got all this technology that we accumulated over the years. But once they try to fight it, they're gonna come to the realization like, hey, nothing is able to penetrate his skin. Nothing is able to come up against him. So they're gonna be like, hey, we give up. We can do nothing against him. You see. um, Here it all says to forfeit. It says, the sword of him that laid at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the Hebergian. So the sword, the spear, and the arrows, nor the Hebergian, which the Hebergian is like a coat of mail, but it also goes into perhaps a lance or javelin. Those things that are coming up against Leviathan are not able to do anything. Verse 27, he esteemed iron as straw and brass as rotten wood. And to go back to the sword, the modern day sword, is referring to the guns, these missiles, And also, if you watch the movie, you see how they at the beginning you see how they tried to destroy Leviathan with the nuclear weapon, but it didn't work. You know, and the modern sword is the gun. And all these bullets coming out, can be seen as like arrows or something. You know, so these things are not able to do anything against Leviathan, man, because what it says in verse 27 is he esteemed iron as straw. So straw is very fragile. You're able to break it with your hands. So Leviathan esteems those things just as we esteem straw, like it's nothing, it breaks. And brass as rotten wood. So brass, if I'm correct, um, bullets are made of brass. Hmm, brass type of things. So Leviathan esteems these things, which these bullets, are able to penetrate our body and kill us. Leviathan esteems that as rotten wood, and rotten wood is like very fragile. You're able to uh, you're able to break it easily. You know, very easily able to break it, man. You just kick it once, or you punch through it, or whatever. You know, verse 28: the arrow cannot make him flee. Slingstones are turned with him into stubble. So shooting your guns, missiles, or whatever at him is not able to make him afraid that he might, flee the battle. Slingstones are turned with him into stubble. So something that's turned into stubble is basically, blown into pieces. Mm, yeah, you see, very small, wordless things. Verse 29: darts are counted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spread sharp pointy things upon the mire. So underneath the body of Leviathan, there are things sticking out that are closely related to potsherd. If you look at the see, is it this one? Yeah, potsherd. So the stones refer to potsherd, which is this. The Leviathan has these things sticking out under his body. Where precisely I don't know, but he has these things, and with him moving upon the earth, he creates these marks that are left because of that. It says, verse 31, he maketh the deep to boil like a pot, he maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. So Leviathan is able to, create so much heat underneath the water that he makes the waters to boil like we boil water in a water pot or in a water cooker, in a pan or a water cooker. says he make it the sea like a pot of ointment. So by his the things that he does underwater, he's able to a pot of to have it similar like a pot of ointment. If you pot of ointment, if you have that at first, it's like nice, but then you start to put your finger in it, and then you create these type of waves in your cream, you know. So that resembles how he's able to move the waters, by his movements and the things that he does underwater in the sea. Whether it's like this or like this, like this, like this. It says, verse 32, he make it a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. And this goes into the trail that he leaves, when he um, reaches the surface and moves along the surface of the water. If you go to that word hoary, it says gray hair, hoary head. So that's a similitude to what he is able to do, by moving in the water. What we see on the left, on the screen on the left, you know, we see that if we go a little bit up, like over here, we see that he's able to create this trail, you know. That's the path that shines after Leviathan. So he's not only able to do that, he's also able to, you know, underneath the water, he's able to create movements that reach the surface, whether it's in the deep or whether it's on the surface level, you know, he's able to do such things. Um, it says verse 33, upon the earth there's not his like who is made without fear. So what did it say? Um, what was it? That it was his heart, his mind, which goes to courage. Courage says heart as the stiff emotions, and spirit, um, temperate state or frame of mind. You see, it's the mind that Leviathan has. It says meaning valor, quality of mind which enables one to meet danger and trouble without fear. So Leviathan is without fear, and he has that mindset, and he's not gonna go to the left or to the right, you know. Not when Esau's coming with his armies, not when he's gonna bring all these other nations to fight Leviathan. No, man. Leviathan ain't gonna be moved nor stirred, when they come with their nukes or whatever. Nothing. And Leviathan's going to do so much trouble upon this earth, man. He's going to destroy a lot of things. And the Most High is gonna raise him up in the last days. Because before the second coming of Yahawashi, the state of this world is gonna be like nothing that we have ever seen upon this earth. If you take the movie, Godzilla, if you take the movie The Road, you combine that with The Purge, you combine that with the Book of Eli, you combine that with, The Walking Dead, you know, that's the type of thing that you have to think about, that's going to be upon this earth before the second coming of Yahweh Shai. You see? So it says, Job chapter 41, verse 33, upon earth there is none his like who is made without fear. Leviathan has no fear. He boarded all high things. He's king over all the children of pride. So that means that Leviathan is the most proud thing created by the Heavenly Father upon his earth. He has more pride than Esau Edom. He's king. What does it mean to be king? Ruler, leader. It says one who has superiority in a certain field or class. So when it comes to being superior, you know, in the field of being prideful, that's where Leviathan shines, man. Together with his skin, which cannot be penetrated, by everything that Esau Edom has to fight it. He's without fear. He's a type of mindset, that just it's not gonna I say that, um, man. Sometimes you try to translate it from your own language to the English, and then you're like, um, let me let me translate it from the English to the Dutch to the English. Oh, oh, maybe I wrote it wrong. Yep, I wrote it wrong. So it says recoil, move back, give ground. Yeah, something similar to that. Like be shook up. You know, nothing's gonna make him afraid, man. So Yahawah, this lesson concerning Leviathan, which is very similar to what we know upon its surface, Godzilla, was edifying, which is written about in Job, the 41st chapter, which is a creature that the Most has created that shall be brought out in the latter days. So Rawchaa, it was edifying. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity.